Let's ignore my messy hair. I combed it and it decided not to work with me. I don't know why. Anyways, hello, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Daniel. I Arena Books, and it's been a week. I'm very sorry. A week's not that long, but I want to stay consistent. But if you missed it, I did do a live with my good friend David from David Desero. We talked about Lord of the Rings, the Avatar cast, and that one new show called What If in Disney Plus. Talked all about that good stuff. I highly recommend you watch it. That live was just a blast. I had so much fun. I'll link it down below. So today I will be doing the Judge a Book by its cover book tag. Now, I wasn't tagged, but I did see this over at Maza's channel, so I'm just gonna steal it. Even though he has tagged me in his other videos, I will still do one. Break the ice. Show a few of your personal favorite book covers. Okay, so I'm just gonna show 3 because I don't want this video to be long. The first one is gonna be the Dead Ever After by Charlene Harris. This is the final book in the Sookie Stackhouse series. I love this series so much. This is one of my favorite covers. The Sookie Stackhouse covers are amazing in my opinion. Not all of them, but I love how the stereotypical vampire with a vampire cape. Let me show you. Because in this edition, since it's the final book, they have these beautiful end pages. See how this is Eric, how he has the Dracula cloak and stuff like that. The same thing with Bill when he's on these books. And there's Quinn, Sam, and Alcide. I believe that's Alcide. And then there's Sookie. And then just a bunch of bats. And yeah, this is actually a first edition. It's also signed. My sister and I been collecting these for a while. We mostly hunt them at Goodwill, and we have all of them now. But it was funny because that day at Goodwill, we were like, oh, we need the last book, and Goodwill, they have these couches by the bookshelves, and we were sitting by it, and I just look up, and there it was, this copy, and I was like, it's fate, right? So the next book is going to be Breaking Dawn by Stephanie Meyer. I know. I actually haven't read this one yet. I've read up to Eclipse, but never this one. Yet. I did read, some of it. I read the whole scene where the marriage scene, and I did read, I think it was book 2, you know how they have it in 3 parts? That's when I stopped at that, because I don't like Jacob. But I love the Twilight covers. I like the simplicity. I don't know. I love it. It's just amazing. It's so cool. I love the chess piece. I love the flower and everything like that. The next one is going to be Watchmen by Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons. They say it's a graphic novel. I always thought these were just called comics, but at this point I don't know. But it's like those old comic books. I love it. I remember I read this in my first year in college and absolutely loved it. I have so much attachment to this comic because it's just so good. And the cover is a close-up of the pin. If you don't know, in the beginning someone gets killed and that person had a pin, a pin with a smiley face, and there's a blood stain on it. It's just so amazing. I love this comic. I highly recommend it. I feel like this is a very realistic superhero comic. Yeah, it's just amazing. And the ending was, I did not see that coming. Question 2, what is the absolute best book cover you own? Now, I have many really good book covers, but I've always loved this one. And that is Beautiful Redemption by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stoll. This is book 4 in the Beautiful Creatures Saga Chronicles, this series. And it is just a spiral staircase. It's just so amazing. I love the black background and just the objects or an area. It's just so cool. And plus that green font, the green color and the swirly font. I love it. It's probably not the best, but it's my favorite. I love all of them. Yeah. Question 3. What is the absolute worst book cover you own? Easy. This one, Vampire Diaries, the Hunters Trilogy, Book 2, Moonsong. It's a very long title. This is one of the worst books I've ever read, and that's why it has one of the worst covers. Because I don't even know who that is. There's two characters that are blonde with the same haircut that is just like this. This is the worst cover. I mean, it's very awkward. I don't know why, it's just not my favorite. It's mostly because of the book. I have a lot of dislike of this book. Question 4. Show the coolest cover you have that features a weapon. And for some reason, I didn't bring it with me, but I was going to talk about Morningstar by Pierce Brown. This is my absolute favorite book in the whole series. It will always remain my favorite book. It's like one of my top favorite books of all time. It is the conclusion of the Red Rising trilogy, and because you know how there's 2 parts, and it's just phenomenal. I love this cover. I thought, when I first saw it, I did think of Children of the Corn. Darrow's weapon, it's just, and as death, it's just amazing. This book had me crying at 2 in the morning. And that's no lie. I literally was crying. So, question 5. Show the most unique book cover you have. I would say one of the unique ones was actually Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. I am so sorry I butchered your name. But all I know, it's about lesbian necromancers. Literally everyone would say that in a video without describing this book is lesbian necromancers in outer space. That sounds super cool. And like necromancer with explosions, skeletons in the background. Like, I think that's pretty badass. I remember I picked up this book because Alistair from Alistair Reviews It loved it, and literally anything he recommends I will read, because he recommended in his channel Red Rising. I read it, love it. Crazy Rich Asians, read it, love it. I feel like anything he recommends I will read. And I think he said this was similar to Red Rising, and I am ready to get my heart broken. So I still need to read it. It's pretty thin. And I think book 3 should be coming out soon, I think, because I know book 2's. Question 6. I don't even know what question this is. Do you judge a book by its cover? What is a book that is totally lived up to how good the cover was, or the cover did, and a perfect job capturing the vibe of the book? It's a lot. Now, I'll be answering this question and the next question. A book you bought blind simply because the cover was captivating. Now, this question goes for both, and that is My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. I got this mostly because, yes, Bookstagram. I've seen so many people raved about it, and the cover is amazing. Now, it goes with the question where it does a perfect job capturing the vibe of the book, and it really does. It gives you that, if I'm right, this is the 80s, very 80s, aesthetically wise, because I heard the 80s was different. I don't know, I wasn't born then, but it gives me like that VHS type vibe. I love it. And then literally everything in here happens in the book, everything, and it's just like, even that part, it's just amazing. And I did buy this blind. I really didn't know what it was about. I heard many good things about it, and I did listen to the audiobook first, and I absolutely loved it. Amazing, phenomenal. What's that Lady Gaga meme going around? That is this book. And I have his other books, except for the newest one. I just love it. This was amazing to me. Yeah. Last question. Show off your special editions and fancy books. Now, I'm only going to show one, because usually special editions are heavy, or the ones I get are very heavy, and I'm filming in my sister's room, and I do not want to bring all those books at once. So, I'm going to show you the first edition I ever got. Technically, my sister got it, and she gave it to me, and that is this bind-up of the first 3 Vampire Chronicles books by Anne Rice. That includes Interview with the Vampire, Queen of the Damned, and no, it's Interview with the Vampire Lestat, and Queen of the Damned. This is a very chunky beast, because there's 3 books, and this is like a goldish, and like end pages. No, that's not end pages, but edges. And like, it's very royalty like. It's a Barnes and Noble's edition, and it has like the little bookmark. And I love it. I think this is so cool. I've actually only read Interview with the Vampire quite a while ago. I really did love it. I still have yet to read The Vampire Lestat, which is I'm looking forward to, and it just turns out this morning I found out that they have found their Lestat, because this will become a TMC TV show, and I'm excited because I'm a huge fan of the movies. I know the movies are different. I know how much Queen of the Damned is not loved because it's not like the book, which I understand, but I've noticed everyone agrees, sorry this is heavy, the soundtrack for Queen of the Damned is amazing. If you haven't watched it, watch it. Thank me later. It's very cheesy, but it's so good. It's just so good. This is heavy. But yeah, and that's it. That's all the questions. So I'll be tagging you, the watcher. Hello, it is future me. In the future, I will tag one person. I mean, everyone else is tagged, but I will be tagging Words on Paper. I know he wanted to do some tags, so I will tag you. And yeah, and if you do see this tag and you see this video, you have been tagged. That's creepy. But yeah, okay. On to the ending, outro, whatever you call it. Peace.